did write this. I didn't forget about you guys last Monday when everything was happening in Las Vegas with the terrible massacre. Let me interrupt myself. If you guys are from Vegas, please check in. Let us know you're okay. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know how we can help. We're all really good at being listening ears and being supportive. So please just let us know what you're going through. That's what we're here for, to support each other through our prison life trials and tribulations, but also in life when we're alone and our significant others and our go-to person who we lean on for support isn't there for us physically. So please, if you're from Vegas, comment. Even if it's not on the live video and afterwards, please comment and let us know. Or if you have friends or family there, or if you're from out of town and you were traveling there, or you had friends and family, please let us know you're okay. And if something, God forbid, happened, we are extending our thoughts on behalf of Strong Prison Wives and Families. Thoughts, our prayers, and our love for you, for all the victims, for all the families, and honestly for world peace, you guys. Because this is going to be part of the video, but I might as well just keep going with this thought. I've been doing Strong Prison Wives and Families for so long at this point. I have seen, and I've had to coach you guys through, and myself through, so many of these tragedies, and they're honestly unnecessary tragedies, these mass shootings, and even the ones that we have, we as human beings have no control over, like the hurricanes and the earthquakes that have been happening recently. And it never gets easier to have to guide everybody through it. It's so hard, especially the senseless ones that we can't wrap our heads around. So I wanted to make this when it was still a little fresh, early last week, if not Monday, but things got distracted and I got some really bad news today. So I needed to hear this myself. And the bad news has nothing to do with prison. It has nothing to do with Adam, and it has nothing to do with our relationship. It has to do with a family member who I found out is sick. And I don't want to say more than that right now because I'm actually like getting emotional and I don't want to cry about it at the moment, because I spoke to the person's spouse, not the person specifically, and he was at work as well, so he didn't want to cry when he was telling me the news. But just know that somebody very, very close to me is very, very ill, and that's all I'm going to say about it right now. But I needed to take my own advice, and I needed to pass this along to you guys while I'm going through it, while Las Vegas is still fresh in our minds. And to be honest, you guys, there are so many women that ask me for these types of coping skills. So this was written specifically for that tragedy, but you could take it into your life anywhere that you need it. I have a lot of women who, I personally think that this is a very traumatic experience to go through. I was talking to a friend the feds raided her boyfriend at the time's house when they came and arrested him, and she had nothing to do with any of it. And they beat her up. They broke her ribs. They just treated her so poorly and unfairly. She said they knocked down the door so hard that she actually had wood chips in her body. So, and I understand sometimes it needs to be violent, but I also, when they're arresting somebody who's very violent, I get parts of that, but I don't understand why they need to be violent when somebody's already cuffed and shackled and they have them on the ground and now they're breaking her ribs and she can't breathe and they're kicking her for no reason and she's not even involved. I think that's insane. I'm not going to share any more in that, but what I'm saying is it could be very, very traumatic to go through that arrest. It could be very traumatic to go through him being ripped away from you, out of your life, to go through sentencing, to go through trial, obviously. And then also there's just some really troublesome times in our lives, like what I'm going through right now with this, dropping the phone, with this person in my family who I've been trying so hard to heal, and I've been working tirelessly to make sure that she's in a place of health. And I feel like all of my efforts are not working, and it's killing me because you guys know that we're fixers and I can't freaking fix this situation. And it's so hard to be out of control. So understand what I'm saying is if you have something in your life from a huge tragedy, like what happened in Las Vegas, to trial, to sentencing, to something happening to yourself at work with somebody in your family, and you have no control, I want to offer these tips to you. So I have notes written down. I'm going to read. Some might be a repeat. And before I start, let me interrupt myself for like the 57,000th time on this video and introduce myself. For you new loves who don't know who I am, my name is Ro. Marlene, sweetheart. I feel like I'm reconnecting with everybody. I haven't been on Facebook Live in a few weeks. So you guys also, all of my loves that know how long-winded I get and into tangents I get, make sure it's restarting over and over for me. Hold on. Oh no, is anybody else having that problem? I'm so sorry. It might be my phone or my connection, and I just hope this lasts and I don't have to repeat it. But you guys remind me, I have a big announcement for something that's coming tomorrow. I wrote that on the first Facebook Live that I was doing, and then it glitched and I had to come back on. So I have an announcement for something tomorrow at the end of this video that I don't want you guys to miss. It's going to be so much fun. Something that you guys, okay, good. Something that you guys have been asking for a really long time. I have it, and it's something I share with you, and it's happening tomorrow night. So make sure that you guys remind me if I forget. No. Oh, you guys, I keep dropping my phone because it's plugged in. And I have it on an extension cord, and I thought maybe it was glitching before because it wasn't plugged in and it was running out of battery. So, okay, here we go. Long-winded. My name is Ro. I am the founder of Strong Prison Wives and Families. I use my years of experience. My husband's been incarcerated for 18 years. He's serving a longer than life 213-year sentence for robbery, where mandatory minimum sentences in the federal system were stacked and piled against him, creating this, and it had to run consecutively, meaning one after another, instead of concurrently, meaning whoop, all strung together. So it created this longer than life sentence, and I figured out how to thrive, not just survive, but thrive, and we did together. And I pass all of that along to you guys so I could help support and guide you not only during this sentence, but well beyond when your loved one gets home. And if you stick with me, you will not become a statistic. And I promise you, if you follow what I teach, because it's what I've learned and I implement myself throughout the years I've been doing this, you will become successful. He will get out and stay out. And I promise that we will start to break the stigma that exists against not only us as prison wives, but against our husbands who are criminals and have that scarlet letter label on them when they come out. So with that said, let's go into surviving tragedy, into surviving trauma, and into surviving troublesome situations. So again, it's with a heavy heart that I had to write out this script last week. And again, my heart goes out to the victims of the Las Vegas massacre, their families, and all of our sisters who were affected either by the tragedy or were within close proximity of it. I've lost count, you guys, I just said it, of the number of times that I've had to make these types of videos and talk about this kind of stuff and support you guys through this, while through these types of tragedies and trying to find the silver lining and helping us get back on our feet after these types of mass shootings and all of those crazy, senseless, avoidable tragedies. And I've never once gotten used to that feeling. It does not get easier. It doesn't get better. It's just because it's mind-boggling that it's not supposed to happen. So us as Strong Prison Wives, and get your fingers ready because I want as many likes, loves, hearts, wows, every emoji possible when I say this because it's about you. We are usually a crew of relentless badasses. Let me rephrase that. We are a crew of relentless badasses. We don't stop. We're strong. We can battle through anything. Thank you, Gigi. You guys get the hearts going. If you believe that we are a crew, which includes you, of relentless badasses, I will give you a second. Here come the hearts. Thank you. We are. You're a relentless badass. I'm a relentless badass. And everybody that is part of this crew is freaking badass. That said, sometimes the news of tragedy is enough to push us over that line between sanity and losing our shit. It's enough to push us because I believe as prison wives, we walk a very, very fine line. Renata, hi. We walk a fine line of being okay. And then like right over here, like right over that little line, it's like a tiny little curb that you could fall over at any given moment because you're just trying to keep it together. And then you could just be pushed over by the slightest little bittiest thing because you're just about to be depressed, but you've got it together. You're a badass. You're going. But every once in a while, something pushes you over. And that's normal. Okay, that's normal. That's human life. But it's also, we're going through something so depressing and you have to acknowledge that. So something like this that is so huge, even if you weren't affected, can push you into that depression. I know last week I felt like, what's the point in anything? What's going on with us? News like this also has a way of inducing anxiety. And remember, right now, this was written for Vegas, but this can be written for anything in your life that is traumatic, for anything you're experiencing in prison life that has caused you pain and hardships and trouble. It is a way, news like this has a way of inducing our anxiety. Last Monday morning, this is embarrassing. I had the news on my phone and I was reading it as I was getting ready for work, and I was all like, these things get us going. So I'm holding my cup of matcha latte that I made for myself, and I'm obsessed with it. And I think in the health and fitness group, I put the recipe on the website, strongprisonlives.com, but if it's not there, somebody let me know and I will put it up there. But anyway, I'm holding it and I hear something as I'm like turning. I go down the steps and I'm turning off the walkway into my driveway, and I hear something running at me. So I jumped back and I spilled tea all down my arm, down the front of my dress, and I look up because I got scared, and it's a freaking squirrel that made me spill tea all over myself. And if you guys think that's funny, give me some emojis, because I laughed at myself too. But that's what happens in these types of situations. We get ourselves going. Our anxiety goes from like here, the average person could be down here, where prison wise it's here, to like way up here. And it sometimes gets overbearing, and we have to get a handle on that. So tragedies like this, I'm glad you guys are laughing at me, because I had to laugh at it too. Ro getting covered in tea because of a squirrel, because she was afraid of a squirrel. Not the smallest or silliest thing that I'm afraid of, but what else? Anyway, so tragedies like this can also make us question the existence of everything. Like I said, like the day the news broke, I was sitting at work thinking like, it's so pointless to be here. It's so pointless to be at work. It's so pointless to just live. My friend said it to me. It was her birthday that day, and I took her out and I bought her a drink before I went to the gym that night. And she was like, you know what? Oh, and by the way, I stopped by my family's restaurant and we got her dinner as we were separating, and she was going to her parents for dinner and I was going to the gym. And she's like, usually I don't need any carbs, but I thought about it today and I was like, what's the point? Who cares? Life is so short. And I kind of made it a joke because it was her birthday and I didn't want her to get lost in her head, but I was like, YOLO, you're getting pizza tonight. But we start to question everything. And, oh, hi, mama, sweetheart. Get her a bib. Oh my God, did I spit? I lost my spot. I'm sorry. It also makes us possibly get stuck on conspiracy theories and all kinds of like paranoia, and all of that can start up. So we all react to trauma and stress and these kind of tragic events in very different ways. So know that there's no right or wrong way for you to respond to this. And don't tell yourself or anybody else that what you should be thinking, what you should be feeling, what you should be doing, how you should be acting. But so know that your feelings are normal. You can bend the rules. It's okay. That's so funny. Know that your feelings are normal. Know that what you're going through is so right because it's what you're going through and it's how you are reacting to the situation. But I also want to share some tips to help you recover and to help me honestly recover from the news that I got today about somebody that I love who's not doing very well. From this tragedy, from anything else. Number one, sorry, I'm trying to read and do this at the same time. You guys know how that goes. Number one, challenge yourself of helplessness. So what I mean is overcoming traumatic stress is all about taking action. A lot of times we feel helpless because we weren't involved in it. And so even just a small little act can make a huge difference. Dwell on what you can do, and it's going to make you feel like you have more control of your life. So here are some examples. And again, I wrote this for the Vegas tragedy, but you can, if you guys have examples that you want to give in your own life or prison life, awesome. Just put them in the comments so we could all help each other. But you could donate blood, you could donate your time, you could donate your services or money to a victim fund if you have extra and want to give it away. You could simply just pray for the victims and their families and for world peace. You could also, you guys, remember, this is huge, listen closely. No matter where you are or what you have to give or the time you have to invest, simply being helpful and friendly to others can make a difference. So you could say, well, I don't have any money, but that's not what this is about. This is about doing something. This is about taking control, even helping a neighbor carrying their groceries, holding the door open for somebody, a complete stranger, smiling at the people you pass on the street. That's going to make a huge difference, and you have control over that, and that's something that's going to make you feel good on the inside. Number 2, minimize your exposure to the media. I fell victim to this last week, and I don't know why I was in that mindset, but sometimes I feel like I need to watch things over and over and over again, and like I need to figure out, I need to know what the motive was. I think it helps my anxiety. Like if I know the motive, then I know, okay, it's done and squashed. But if I don't, I'm like, are there other people out there? I'm sure you guys that are still going, or they're accomplices. I'm sure you guys can relate. So make sure that you're not watching the news or checking social media just before bed, especially if you're the type that's going to get nightmares or your thoughts are going to race. Or don't think about the situation before bed. So if I'm not going to sit here and read about the health issue that my family member is experiencing before bed, because then I'm going to get lost in like, what if I can't help her? What if it gets worse? What if she dies and there was nothing I could do to say, your thoughts go crazy when you're alone at night in bed. Don't Google his name and read the nasty things maybe that are in the media or the news right now while your husband's on trial, while you're waiting for sentencing. Don't reread those core links emails where you guys were fighting and that's what's causing you heartache and stress. Don't relive the scenario over and over and over in your head if you don't need to. So avoid looking at disturbing images or watching video clips. And if the media coverage makes you, and this totally goes with you guys that have high profile cases and are in the newer end of the whole trial and the sentencing and all that stuff, shut off the TV. Stop watching the news. If that coverage makes you feel overwhelmed, then just take a complete break from the news or social media and avoid obsessively reliving the trauma and replaying the scenario in your head or viewing the horrific images over and over. Marlene, now you're making me laugh at reading your comment. She said I talk with my hands and it makes her laugh and I can't stop. It's seriously, like people tell me I wouldn't be able to speak if I sat on my hands. And it's true. Okay, so don't relive it over and over and over again, because replaying the scenario in your head or viewing those images or watching those videos or getting involved in crazy long social media wars with people you don't even know, that's going to overwhelm your mind and your body and your nervous system. And when you're overwhelmed, you cannot think clearly. So try to look away. I know it's hard. I fell victim to it, like I said last week, but try to move away. Number 3, move your body. And this is not just coming from, you guys see, I literally got home from the gym, fixed my makeup a little bit, and got on this video. I haven't even showered yet. And it's not because I'm a crazy gym rat fitness freak that I'm saying this. This is scientifically proven that the last thing that you're going to want to do, it's not scientifically proven this part, but the last thing you're going to want to do straight up is work out when you're feeling like crap. I get it. After a traumatic event, the last thing you want to do is put on your sneakers and exercise, because we're going back to my friend eating pizza. You're like, YOLO, it hurts to exercise. I only live once. Who knows if I have tomorrow? I'm going to sit here, lay on the couch, watch like, I don't know, a guilty pleasure reality show or a romance movie or whatever your thing is, and eat a pizza. But you guys, first of all, you all know that's not healthy, but exercising releases those feel-good endorphins, and that's going to lift your mood, and it's going to distract you, and it's going to take your spirits in a different direction. Also, if it was something really dramatic and you have a lot of adrenaline flowing through your body, it's going to burn off some of that adrenaline. And also, like a lot of times, just like I was saying before, you'll feel stuck in the moment and you have to relive that over and over and over again. And sometimes you can't help it. That's actually working out. You have to focus on doing something. You have to count reps. You have to force yourself like another step if you're going for a jog, or, you know, another step if you're running up the stairs, or whatever you choose to do for exercise. Another step if you're walking, just walking down the street, or yoga moves. You have to focus on your breath. It's going to distract your mind from reliving the event, it's going to take your mind off of it. It's going to burn off of that adrenaline, and it also is going to tire out your body. So if you're having trouble falling asleep because your thoughts are racing, getting in a little bit of exercise and tiring out your muscles is going to help distract you from staying up all those hours. It's going to help make you crash and burn at night if you're not exercising. Some people get a little bit stimulated when they exercise too close to bedtime, so just know your body. You might have to test it out a little bit. Number 4, reach out to others. So it is so tempting to withdraw from the world and from society and feel like you can't trust anybody during these types of traumatic or tragic events. So make sure that you're connecting with people. That's vital to recovery. Just the simple act of talking face to face to somebody else is enough to trigger hormones that relieve traumatic stress. Remember the oxytocin, the hug hormone, where you hug somebody or you touch somebody or you pet a dog or you hold a baby, that actually releases a hormone called oxytocin in your brain that makes you feel really good. So that simple act of face-to-face, as human beings, we're socially programmed. We're social beings. We need to interact with one another. Even if you're an introvert like me, you still need that human interaction. So even just a brief exchange of kind words with somebody on the subway, or just even like a look face to face or smiling, like we said before, at somebody on the street, that's going to help calm your nervous system. That's going to help release a little bit of the oxytocin, the feel-good hormone. And for you guys, we have our monthly Girls Night In, the SPWF Girls Night In party, where we connect on Zoom. So it's not physically in person, but you could see each other eye to eye, and you can connect for support on things like this or whatever you're struggling with, or just to get away with the girls and distract yourself. Anna, who's commenting, is our Girls Night In admin, and she leads it. So I believe we have one on October 20th, Friday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for a face-to-face video call with supportive sisters who understand your struggles and what you're going through. And Anna will give more information on that. There are flyers everywhere. Megan says GNI is life. Anna says she hosts because she does. It's a lot of fun. I've gotten such amazing feedback about it. I haven't been able to make the last few. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this one, but I will try my very, very hardest to at least make an appearance, because honestly, you guys, they are so much fun. It's like you can just relax and be yourself and have fun with the girls. And hopefully we're going to be able to do an in-person one as well, like a real meetup soon. Okay. Next one. Make stress reduction. We're up to 5. Make stress reduction a priority. So while a certain amount of stress is normal, it's just part of life. I mean, you can't completely nix your life of stress unless you're unless you're living in Hawaii, like on a colony where they feed you and give you shelter all the time and all you have to do is just surf. I don't know. But I mean, real life, we can't eliminate all of the stress, especially as prison wives. But it's helpful to reduce the stress in your life and to just make sure that you're doing things that help you, especially while you're going through something traumatic or when you feel out of control and you can't handle things and you're getting depressed about being a prison wife. So whatever stress relief looks like to you. I was just getting tongue-tied because all my notes are usually this long and then I get stuck on a tangent, but this one I don't have that much, and I'm okay with that because I've made so many videos in the past on techniques for stress reduction. So go back through my Facebook Lives. There are a ton of them. Go back through all of the videos on strongprisonwives.com/videos. There are like tons and tons and tons over there. And if you still have questions or want me to elaborate, you can ask me, but honestly, I don't need to make this video any longer than it already has turned into. We're going on like what at this point? I don't even know, but it's getting long. Number 6, relieve stress in the moment with breathing. So if you start getting really worked up about it, let's say at work, like I use this example all the time. I'm going to use it again. When I was right after clemency, when we found out that Adam was not approved for clemency, and we had we put every egg, 15,000 eggs in that one basket, and every finger was pointing the fact that he was going to get it. he was not on any denial list, and then last minute it was like our hopes and dreams were crushed and he didn't get it. So throughout the days after, now that's not trauma, I'm not going to say that's traumatic, but it's really emotionally difficult to get through for me. So it felt like all my hopes and dreams, and like we were making plans for him coming home, which might have been silly, but we put them all, like I said, all those eggs in one basket. So I was at the doctor's office that afternoon, and I couldn't help myself, but tears started coming to my eyes, and then the next day at work, and it was in the most inconvenient times. So what you can do if the tragedy or the trauma starts coming up in your mind, again, not relating that to trauma, I don't think that was actually like a traumatic experience for me, but it was difficult. So in any experience like that, start breathing. And what you want to do to quickly calm yourself in any type of situation where you're getting worked up or any kind of stress is just start taking breaths. Count 60 breaths, and you want to count yourself on the out breaths. You want to count the breath, not count yourself. That makes no sense. You want to count on the out breath. So that's one. And just do 60. And you could do that quietly. It doesn't have to be loud. You could do it quietly at your desk at work, and nobody will know that's happening, but it's going to just slow everything down. It's going to distract your mind. You're going to focus on those breaths, and your whole parasympathetic nervous system, which is the PNS, which is responsible for calming you down. That's actually responsible for putting you to sleep at night. It's all just going to slow down, and the anxiety is going to subside a little bit. Hopefully a lot, but at least enough to get you through that moment. Number 7, rely on your senses. So this one's really cool and very interesting, but think about the things that make you feel uplifted and make you feel calm. Is it listening to a song? Is it a certain type of music? Is it the smell of something like fresh ground coffee, one of my favorites, or like brownies baking, or something really clean and fresh, one of my faves, like a dryer sheet? Or maybe just petting an animal, the touch, or hugging a baby. Everyone responds to those senses and that sensory input differently. So figure out and experiment and figure out what works for you and do it to start feeling more calm and more centered. I know there are certain songs when they come on the radio, I'm like, it brings me back to a terrible time in my life. But there are certain songs when they come on the radio and I'm like, oh my God, remember that time when this song came out? Like one song, Kings of Leon, Use Somebody. I used to play that when I first got back in touch with Adam. I was so stuck on that song. To and from driving to visit every single week. And so every time I hear that song now, it just came out. I hadn't heard it in years. And it came on the radio when I was coming home from dinner with my family the other night. And I realized after towards the end of the song, I was driving like with that cheesy smile because it just brought me back. It calmed me down. It distracted me. So try that, you guys, and figure out what works for you. Rely on your senses. We were given as a gift for a reason. Rely on them. It's starting to get dark. I better hurry up. What are we up to? I went 6, 7, 6. Wow. Number 8. When to seek treatment for traumatic stress. So usually the feelings of anxiety and numbness and confusion and guilt and despair following a type of event like this, following a disaster or traumatic event or bad news or trauma will start to fade within a short amount of time. It's normal to have them for a little while, but within like a few weeks or a few months, depending on the situation and how bad it is, it should start to subside. A lot of them will slowly, eventually, after you get over it and you grieve, they'll start to move on. But if your reaction to stress is getting really intense, or it doesn't get less intense, or it's persistent, it's constant, it never stops, it happens all the time, over and over again, and you feel like you never get any relief from it, and you're constantly living in a paranoid, anxious state, then it's probably time and it's getting in the way of your ability to do everyday normal functions, day-to-day life, taking care of the kids, getting out of bed, you're calling out of work, that type of thing. You need to go seek help from a mental professional because that is getting in the way of your life and it's a quality of life at this point, and you need to go see help. So some red flags for you guys to look out for in case this is happening to you, because a lot of women who are going through trial or very early in their sentence fall here. They fall into this trap and they stay here for a long time, and it's really hard to dig yourself out of that hole of depression if you get trapped there. And the longer you stay there, the harder it is to get out. So please look for the warning signs. Number 1, Traumatic stress red flags. Number 1, it's been over 6 weeks and you're not feeling any better. Number 2, you're having trouble functioning at home and at work. Number 3, you're experiencing terrifying memories, nightmares, or flashbacks. You're having seriously like night terrors and trauma over and over and over again. Don't remember what number we're up to. Doesn't matter. Next one. You're having an increasingly difficult time connecting and relating to others. You feel very withdrawn. You just don't want to be around anybody. You can't connect with them. They like irk you when they talk to you. It's like bugs are crawling on your skin. You know the feeling. For me, sometimes it's called PMS. Just kidding. Not trying to make light of this, but you guys know that feeling when people are like, you just need to get away. If that's constant and it's everybody. Next one. You're experiencing suicidal thoughts or feelings. You guys, please, that is nothing to mess with. I want you to contact somebody immediately if you're feeling suicidal. Immediately, you guys. There is help out there for you, but you have to reach out for it. And as friends of people who have gone through traumatic events, if they say anything about being suicidal, do not take it as a joke. Do not take it as being dramatic. Do not take it as them overacting. Call for help, please, because it's better for them to get mad at you and them say I was joking or whatever than it is for the opposite, for them to do something harmful to themselves. So please, you guys, if you're feeling suicidal or if somebody is telling you that they're suicidal, call for help immediately. There are numbers out there. There are suicide hotlines. Call 911 if you have to, whatever it may be. Please get yourself help. And then the last one. You're avoiding more and more things that remind you of the disaster or the traumatic event. Now, I don't think you're going to be going back to court anytime soon if it's trial. But even for me, then I wasn't even involved directly. I'm just off the top of my head, was driving past a festival the other day. They had streets shut down to go to a wedding. And my sister was like, let's go. It reminded her, she goes, let's go to the, I think it was like a wine and cheese tasting festival in a couple of weeks. And I thought, festival, oh my God, crowds of people. Oh my God, that's scary. Things are happening. So yeah, you don't have to put yourself in those type of situations right away, but you don't want to stop living your life because you're afraid of everything. You only get one life. I was kind of saying it jokingly before YOLO, but seriously. So you have to make sure you're still living too, being as safe and secure as you possibly can and not putting yourself in stupid, bad situations purposely, but also not doing things, not doing things. Is that right? Yeah, out of fear. I was going to say not doing things, but that doesn't make any sense. Okay. Just to close, this video was very long. A lot longer than, I don't know, was it a lot longer than my usual ones? Because I'm always lost on tangents, but it is kind of long. But I think that you guys needed this information. I needed this information. I needed to remind myself of all of this. There was no better time to do it than today after the news I got earlier. And even if it doesn't, like I said before, doesn't pertain to your life right now in this moment, I want you guys to save this video, make a note of where it is, share it on... Don't share it on your personal page because I know a lot of you can't, but whatever. Make sure that you come back here, make a note to yourself of this video, the date, where it is on Facebook. I will pull it into strongprisonwives.com to the video section so you can refer back to it. So it could be there for you when you need it. And like I said earlier, we're constantly walking that line. So in those situations where you feel pushed over that line, where you feel like the system has taken all of control and prison has taken all control away from you, or something really, really bad happens and you feel like it's really difficult to get through, this is going to come in handy for you that day. And I think that's it. Okay, now on to the announcement. Tomorrow night, you guys, 7 o'clock, this channel, strongprisonwives.com, facebook.com/strongprisonwives. We are going to be doing a live video with an inmate that was recently released from prison 4.5 months ago, I believe, and he's going to be answering questions from the perspective of somebody on the inside. He's going to be, you're welcome, Megan, he's going to be answering questions from, like we always say, like, well, what we need to know what guys are thinking on the inside. And when I asked him, I gave him one of the questions that I wanted to ask him, and he was like, oh, I'm breaking bro code. So when somebody gives you that, you know you're getting good answers. So make sure, you guys, I'm going to try to figure out how to get him on, share the live video with me. I do not have an iPhone. My iPad will not, it's so old, it won't turn around to the face fronting camera. It'll only do the forward facing camera. So what we might have to do, unless somebody can figure it out and let me know, I have an Android, like I said, he has an iPhone, that how we can merge him into the video. With iPhone, it's real simple. You just like add them in. With Android, not so much. Actually, hold on. Let's do a test right now. No, I can't, huh? I was trying to see if I can, that gets rid of the comments. Megan, I'm just going to see if I could add you to this video. No, I can't. Okay, so that's how you do it on iPhone, but I'll figure it out. If not, we'll have to do it on a Zoom, and then I will show, like, I will hold the camera up so it's live on Zoom. I'll figure it out. You guys keep staying strong, keep loving strong, keep supporting one another through this journey. You're one day closer to all being over tongue-tied. But in the meantime, get your questions together. Get your thoughts together, because we have an inside line on the outside now to what our guys are going through on the inside. So if you're struggling, if I know a lot of our members, you're an Android too. Oh, let's see, Anna. Anna, are you an Android? It doesn't matter. It's because my phone's the Android, because I just tried, unless Anna has an Android. Yeah, I think we could just Zoom, but I want it live. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we have a lot of women whose guys are getting out right now, and they're going through like a lot of struggles. I don't know why. It must happen in phases. We have like a lot of people there right now. He's going to help us with that. Think of your questions, and you can send them to me in advance if, one, you don't want them coming from you, or two, you want him to have time to like really think and formulate an answer for you. So remember, Zoom. Do you guys want me to send out a Zoom and we'll just do it on Zoom, and then I'll record it and put it on the website? No, your iPhone. Okay. Do you guys want me to do it on Zoom? We might do it on Zoom. I will get on. I will talk to him, and then I will get back on here later, and I'll let you guys know, okay? So you guys, in the meantime, stay strong. I love you. I will be back to let you know, and then we'll post it all over on social media. Inside line to the inside from somebody on the outside. Cannot wait to see how this goes. I'm so excited. Love you guys lots. Bye.